Hey, warriors. Oh, I feel horrible today. I swear, this past month, I think I have felt more, just ick than ever in my life. But anyway, I'm still wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday. I don't even care. I haven't even washed my face. Anyways, I want to talk about something today that sits right on the edge of, science, intuition, and I don't know, spiritual experience, I guess. And I want to be clear up front, there is no scientific proof of what I'm about to discuss. But dude, that don't make it meaningless, okay? Um, sometimes we have to experience shit first, verify it later, you know? So take this as something to feel into, not something to, that you're being forced to believe. Recently, I listened to an interview featuring Maureen St. Germain. Okay. And what she said honestly stopped me in my tracks because she said she spent months, 9 months, I think she said exactly, almost a year, um, remote viewing, astral traveling through different dimensional layers of reality. Okay. Searching for what she called the missing link in our DNA. Not evolution or intelligence, but our natural ability to heal ourselves completely, cellularly, instantly. And she said she was looking for where that capacity went because she intuitively knew humanity once had it, I suppose is how I need to put that. And what she found, she says, even surprised her because according to her findings, that healing link was never, well, I guess it was lost to us, but it wasn't lost. It wasn't degraded over time. Um or something, that we haven't evolved into, okay? Yet. It wasn't nothing like that. She says it was taken, okay? Removed from our DNA expression and hidden, concealed intentionally, okay? I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing, thinking, yeah, probably, right? But anyway, it wasn't destroyed. It was, displaced. But where it was hidden is the part that really changes how you look at reality, honestly. She says it was concealed in the second dimension. Okay? Now, most people think of dimensions like levels going, upward. 3D, 4D, 5D, higher consciousness. But the second dimension, I'm not going to say it's lower, like negative, in a negative sense. Um, it's the geometric template layer of form. You know, um, okay, so it's where it's biological blueprints sit before they become physical matter. I guess is the easiest way to explain that. So if 3D is the body, okay, then 2D is the instruction manual, that tells the body how to form, I guess is the easiest way. Okay, so according to her, the reason it was hidden there was very strategic, really, because humans are always taught, to look for power upward, higher chakras, higher dimensions, higher beings, higher, knowledge, that kind of thing. Um, so, we're the bottom line is that we are conditioned to believe that evolution only exists above us. Okay? So no one would, she's saying, so no one would ever think to look downward, downward into the architectural, blueprint of our own biology is what, she said the concealment relied on one assumption, and that was that humanity would forget, how to read its own template. Okay? And what she claims is that during her remote viewing, astral traveling, whatever you want to call that she was doing, she located the healing code. Okay? Intact, untouched, not broken, just offline, and she says that now that it's been found, reactivation doesn't require, no technology, no surgery, no, external intervention or anything like that. She says it can be accessed through our meditation, and conscious, activation, through focused awareness, interacting with the body's template layer. That's crazy. And now, again, you can take this literally, symbolically, or intuitively, but regardless of how you interpret it, the underlying message is pretty fucking powerful, really. Because what it suggests is that healing may not be something that we acquire. It may be something that we fucking remember. Think about that. Do you know what I mean? What if the limitation, I don't know, okay, so what if the body isn't bad at healing? Okay? What if it's just restricted? Okay? So what if that limitation isn't biological, but architectural? Like having a software function disabled, not deleted. Do you know what I mean? That's, I don't know, intuitively, this resonates with what a lot of people are already experiencing right now. Spontaneous remissions, energy healing, placebo effects, that outperform pharmaceuticals. The body responding to, belief, coherence, and intention. Right? Science calls these things anomalies, but what if they're like fucking leak-throughs? Small glimpses of larger capacity, trying to come back online for us. And here's where I bring in my own perspective, okay? Because whether or not you believe her dimensional mapping is literal, there is something happening right now with human consciousness and the body. We all know this, right? People are becoming, they're becoming more aware of their breath, more aware of frequency, more aware of, emotional geometry inside of the nervous system. I mean, we're already realizing that the body isn't just chemical, that it's electrical, acoustic, geometric, responsive to consciousness itself. I don't know. So when she says, that the healing link, was hidden in the second dimension, I don't just hear location. I hear some, symbolism too. Because the second dimension, represents pattern, right? Not to mention, call me crazy, but it makes sense to me that they would do that if this is how it really happened. Do you know what I mean? Them little sneaky bastards would do that, right? I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it, like on a symbolic level too, because like I said, the second dimension represents pattern, and healing always requires pattern correction, not just symptom management, okay? You don't heal the body by fighting it. You heal it by restoring the original blueprint that it's trying to follow. Maybe that's why we are so sickly. Do you understand? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And and what if meditation does work? And not because we're relaxing, but because we're dropping awareness into that template layer. I don't know. When you quiet the surface mind enough to interface with the architecture, underneath, I don't know. So maybe it will work, not by escaping the body, but accessing its, I don't know what you want to call it, instruction field, you know? Because if the code is still here, um then healing isn't about becoming something new. It's about reactivating something ancient, something innate, something, that was never really truly gone, just hidden behind, underneath dimensional fucking amnesia, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. And I mean, I do want to be responsible in how I say this part, because I don't know, this perspective should never, replace medical care, obviously. Nobody's dumb. And it shouldn't replace your discernment either. You should never replace any type of grounded action that you would normally take listening to anybody else. But it can honestly expand how we view our body's potential. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because science itself is beginning to acknowledge that belief, coherence, and perception and influence biological outcomes. I mean, even when they're ready to start acknowledging this, I mean, somebody needs to listen, because it took them all fucking live long day to do that, But I mean, so whether you see, I don't know, whether you see this as, literal dimensional retrieval, on her part, or symbolic conscious work, or I don't know, intuitive storytelling pointing at a deeper truth, I mean, come on, the invitation, I guess, is the same. Stop seeing your body as broken, start seeing it as, I don't know, as encoded, not, I don't know, not malfunctioning, but operating on, maybe we're just operating on limited access mode, if you will, right? I don't, if it, maybe the next phase of human evolution isn't adding new abilities. Maybe, like everyone thinks, right? Maybe it's restoring our original ones. I mean, am I crazy, you guys? I mean, maybe our healing, is, if we can restore ourselves back to our original, abilities, that's that's not healing as a miracle like we're looking at it right now. Do you know what I'm saying? That's healing as memory, which is even way better as far as I'm concerned, if that's the case, because if something was hidden, we can find it, right? I mean, maybe it's going to it already took us all this time, but if she's right and she found it, um, I don't know. And if something was written inside us, like at creation, no force anywhere, physical or dimensional, can erase it permanently. That's amazing, So if they've only suppressed it this entire time, they can't suppress it permanently, So the real question isn't, do we have the ability to heal ourselves? Dude, the question is are we ready to remember it? Am I crazy? Anyways, I've went on longer than I think I've ever went on a video, so I'll shut up now, but I just really thought this video or this interview that I saw was crazy. But anyways, I love you guys.